Mm. Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here this morning on Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed with all that is America's team. Whew, here we are. 205 days, 11 hours, 19 minutes, and 40 seconds away from kickoff of the 2018 season, 2019 season. 2018 is in the books, thank God, and we're on to the next one. And here it is. We're working on figuring out what our Dallas Cowboys need to do to get to the promised land of the Super Bowl. I got to tell you, I'm a guy who's a glass half full type guy. A guy who will look for the bright side more so than the negative. Try to give you something to give you hope. That's just the way I am. I'd rather be a positive person than a negative one. I don't know how people go through life with everything is woe is me and everything is bad, Because no matter how bad things may be for you, there's tons of people out there that wish they only had your problems. I learned that the hard way, my damn self. And it makes you appreciate what you do have. Listen, last 3 years, winning seasons. We've won more games than we've lost. 2 division titles. Been in the playoffs. I know it's not the Super Bowl, but be thankful for what you got. You could be the Cleveland Brown fan who hasn't been in the playoffs since that franchise was reborn. Count your blessings. Now, we're in the process of shaping our team for next year, and we have to decide right now, the coaching staff, the front office, the GM, they have to decide on some of these guys because some of these guys are free agents and they can walk elsewhere. And you have to figure out who's important, who you can afford to pay, and who you can live without. And probably the most prominent guy we've been looking at is Mr. Hot Sauce himself, Cole Beasley. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't really looked at the numbers so much. I know Cole Beasley wants more touches. He wants to be a more prominent role in the offense. And I can understand that because everybody does. And of course, he wants to get paid. And I ain't mad about anybody wanting to get paid. For what these guys do on the field week in and week out, doing to their bodies, literally, the risk that they take every single play, I'm not mad about anybody getting paid. Pay them more. Because I don't know that you out there could put your ass on the line, that you can get up off the mat after being run over by a Mack truck and continue to play. So when we look at this, the way I had hoped, when we got rid of Dez Bryant last year, what I had tried to talk about the offense being death by 1,000 cuts. That's what you want to have on an offense. And by that I meant you don't know where the ball is going next. If you know what the play is going to be, it's a lot easier to stop than if you don't. Herein lies the problem for the Dallas Cowboys. The team has been so predictable. And even teams that have one great wide receiver, you'll see tons and tons of yards. But the problem is teams know if we can at least keep him from beating us, you can contain him a bit. I mean, he's going to get his yards, but if you can keep him out of the end zone, the other guys aren't going to stop you. And more times than not, when you see teams that aren't really balanced, they have a great running back and no passing game, or they have a great wide receiver and not much balance, you don't do as well. So when you could have a team where if you put 8 men in the box to try and stop Zeke Elliott and you got a guy who can take a one-on-one battle deep, much like we had with Michael Irvin, it's difficult. If you got a quarterback who can fake a dive and get outside and do a run-pass option where you've got the defensive end or the linebacker on an island either come up and try and tackle the quarterback or cover the tight end, that's another cut. If you got a weapon, a wide receiver who can do a reverse that'll be deadly and can go to the house. It's another weapon, another cut. And you want to be balanced all the way around. That's one of the things when you look at a New England, you very rarely see a superstar wide receiver or a person who makes tons and tons of catches. You see more balance in there in the numbers. And in fact, when you look at 2016, the success we had, you had nobody that was outstanding in numbers out there. It was pretty consistent, you know. Last year, New England, not this past year, the year before, I don't believe anybody had more than 65 catches on New England. I think Gronk had the most. But it was a group of guys, about 5 or 6 of them, from about 40 to 65 in there. They mixed the ball around. You don't know where it's coming from. And that's the way you want to win. So you have to ask yourself, okay, Cole Beasley, he wants the ball more. But when we go through and you look at Cole Beasley here, well, let me highlight it up on here. Still learning it. Somewhere I've got a pen that I can actually highlight with, but I can't figure out what I did with it. And I've got 2 mouses for the 2 computers. But when you look at Cole Beasley, he was targeted 87 times last year, 65 catches, and 672 yards. It's not like they ignored him. Now, Amari Cooper, granted, he only got here in the middle of the season. He got a lot more throws, but you understand why. He became the deep threat, and he was butter going across the middle. And as you look, of course, Zeke Elliott, your running back is always going to get a lot of touches and things out there. But this is actually what you want to be able to see. You want to see your running back getting 77. You want to see your your main man, getting, of course, he'll get more because he's the main man. But you want to see him getting a bunch. You want to see Cole Beasley. You want to see Michael Gallup getting a bunch. So if you can have all of these guys getting equal amounts, then the defenses don't have a single person to key on. Now, I got to be honest here. I think there's going to be a change. I think that we're going to open up things more. I've told you guys about the 4th year of quarterbacks, generally speaking. Like the 2nd year is the sophomore slump. The 4th year is the season that quarterbacks really take it up another level. And I'm looking at everything pointing towards this year that Dak Prescott will have a really, really good year. The fact that you've got Amari Cooper in the system. The fact that the offensive line should be in better shape because Zach Martin will get his knee worked on. The fact that Travis Frederick will be back. The fact that Connor Williams will have a year underneath his belt. You look at that offensive line and say, okay, maybe we're going to get back to closer to being like 2016. And if you've got a good offensive line, if Dak can feel comfortable in the pocket and take like steps, and you've got weapons that can get open, there's that trust factor that'll start developing with Amari Cooper and throwing in more tight windows. And you look at, say, a Michael Gallup, rookie wide receivers it takes time for them to develop, and rarely do you see rookie wide receivers that are great right out of the box. It happens with guys like Odell Beckham, but that's the exception, not the rule. But you could see how Michael Gallup, as the season progressed, got better and better going down the field. To me, if they can get the tight end situation where it becomes more of a security blanket, then this offense will be ready to rock and roll. So the question you have to ask is, if Michael Gallup is going to continue to develop and become a deep threat, you're going to go more to him just to loosen up the defense. If he's going down the field and the defense is worried about him taking to the house, he's going to require some double coverage. You can't put 8 men in the box. If Amari Cooper goes in the slot because he is deadly in traffic, he's going to, of course, get more than 77 targets. He's going to get the ball more. And if you're trying to prolong Zeke Elliott's career, you're going to do less pounding between the tackles, and you're going to use him also more out in space where he's getting the ball and screens. He's getting, crossing routes and things, across the middle and things, where he's getting the ball and can make a move on 1 or 2 guys as opposed to having to pound every single time. The problem becomes is, how many more balls will you be able to throw to Cole Beasley than 89? And how much will he cost? I wish I had the answer for that one, but money-wise, that everything goes down to money. But passing-wise, I don't know where you're going to get more passes for him. And he definitely wants both. And I don't see them being able to do both. Now, again, 10.3 yards per catch. The man's got good hands. The man's got good hands. One of those tough decisions that the team has to look at and make. I wish I had the answer on that one. I don't. But it's going to be a hard one to let him walk. But it's also going to be hard to keep him here and keep him happy. So, guys, as always, thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Should Cole Beasley stay, or should we let him go ahead and walk? Time's short. We only have 4 weeks to make that decision, or else he's out of here. I'll see you guys soon.